Okay, in this segment we're going to cover installing the brick molding left side part 2. The way I'm going to cut this is lap siding. If I follow the saw on the lap siding, the saw is going to go up and down and follow the depth of the lap siding. So when I'm cutting deep enough at the top to cut through, when it gets down to the thin part, I'll be cutting deeply into the wall. The alternative is to ride the saw on the edge of the door, set the saw blade height for right flush with the wall. The saw stays stable and smooth, cuts the boards up, and I won't have to cut into the wall. So I just hold the saw up, and using the edge of the window as a guide, I set the blade depth down to the wall. Then I'm going to tighten down the deck adjustment. Now I've got the depth set. A little tricky to get this just right. You don't want to cut into the wall if you don't have to. Once I've got that set, the other thing we're going to have an issue with is the safety cover down here. You got to hold it up out of the way when you start into the cut. And you got to pay real close attention to keep this flat and level on using this door frame as a guide. Now because of clearance here, I'm going to have to turn around and finish the cut going downward. And the problem there is I won't have the window to use as a guide. Okay, now that we've trimmed this down to 2 inches so our brick mold will fit in, we're going to do the same procedure. Just fit the brick molding in. We'll check the alignment up above. I cut it kind of tight because I like a good tight fit. So I'll just tap it down, and then I'll use my clamps, hold it in place, and do the alignment. And I'm just barely tightening it, just so I make sure it doesn't fall or move over while I'm juggling items around. And I'll get my little jig and check the 45. Oops. See, by leaving the clamp loose, it gives me the ability to move it up and down as needed. I just insert the piece and make sure .45 will line up correctly. That looks excellent. And we'll just nail it down, staying on the outside. And I'm going to remember to turn the gun sideways so I'm following the grain. It just makes a lighter pattern of the nail head. Okay, that'll conclude our installing the left side of the brick molding. Please watch our next segment on we'll install the top piece, cut and install the top piece.